Oh, this was awesome, man. This is only the second time I've ever gone up in a single engine, like, cigarette pack size plane. Jeff is a terrific pilot. Even got to do some fun maneuvers. First time ever doing that. If you have the opportunity to come out here with Jeff and talk about your business, you better jump on it.
3, 2, 1. Action.
Hey,
everybody. Welcome to Cockpit Convos. It's your captain speaking, Jeff Brittain. Hope you're doing well. I'm excited today. I got my good friend Chris Shelton in the plane today.
That's right. You got it.
That's right. He is a man of many talents, a man of many stories. Got a lot of cool things he does. He owns a big, successful coffee shop chain here in the 757, Cure Coffee. If you haven't been there, check it out. It's amazing coffee. I'm sure he'll talk about that. And then he's involved with a really cool organization, Where2Wheel, man. I can't wait for people to hear about that.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool concept. I'd never heard of him until we met. And I had the chance of meeting Chris at a Retail Alliance function. If you're not in Retail Alliance, if you're a retailer, it's an amazing organization. They really fight for you and lobby for you and really put training on for you. And it's great for retailers. And so really check out Retail Alliance. I'm sure Chris has some.
And we were on the board together.
And we're on the board.
We were both voluntold and took the job happily.
Exactly. We were on the foundation board of Retail Alliance.
That's
so
right.
I get to work with him in a couple different ways. So, but man, happy to have you in the plane today.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, me too. And I think I just love for you to tell the audience the Chris Shelton story, man. Take us back as far as you want to, and just bring us up to date.
It's getting longer and longer.
It is, and more and equally as interesting too. So.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where to start. Well, I grew up in Smithfield. We're flying over very near, within about 20 miles of the house that I grew up in out there. I've been in Hampton Roads most of my life, minus 2 years in Louisville, Kentucky, from 2013 to 15, getting an entrepreneurship MBA. Had moved to Norfolk after high school, Smithfield High School, to attend Old Dominion University, where I got a finance and economics degree at approximately the worst time in modern history to achieve that. That would have been 2008. Found myself in a suit and tie at Merrill Lynch, who concurrently at the time was involved in causing the global financial crisis. It was a very interesting time to get started in that industry, and with a finance and economics degree. At that time, prospects were very few, so I took the first one that came my way, and that's where it happened to be.
Yeah.
So, I spent about 5 years there, the last 2 of which a friend of mine from high school and I started a coffee shop business. Just a little, 1,500 square foot shop in Freemason area of Norfolk, wonderful cobblestone street. And so that was 2011 we started Cure Coffeehouse. It's been quite a roller coaster ride ever since. I resigned from Merrill Lynch in December of 2012 and found myself with a lot more time on my hands than I had anticipated, because again, it was only a 1,200 square foot coffee shop, not
Sure.
much going on,
Right.
at least at the time. So I went out to Louisville, Kentucky to get an MBA in entrepreneurship specifically. That program took me around the country and even Canada doing business plan competitions, akin to Shark Tank, basically, competing with other very smart MBA student teams from across the country, the likes of the Wharton School of Business, the Chicago Booth, Yale, you name it. Really opened up my eyes to the concept of scalable entrepreneurship. These are businesses that are built from the ground up to be very big, your $100 million companies on up to your unicorns, your Airbnbs and Uber.
Right.
And so moved back from Louisville, got a job. ODU had just started some entrepreneurship programming. They were launching what was the ODU Innovation Center. I became the first managing director for that.
Okay.
And through that, I met who would eventually become my business partners in Where2Wheel. That is where2wheel.com. I'll tell you a little more about that later, but just finish out my little timeline. So got involved in regional entrepreneurship and startup community development, if you will. So a region, its entrepreneurs are much more successful when various programs like Retail Alliance, ODU's entrepreneurship programming, when they work in cohesion rather than against one another. And so my role was kind of bringing some cohesion to the various programs that were out there to support nascent, young, and old entrepreneurs and small business owners. But my focus, was, and ODU's focus really was on that sense of scalable entrepreneurship, because from an economic development standpoint, that's where you get the biggest bang for your buck. Sure. With those limited resources that you're trying to pull together. Yeah. Not to say that small business isn't extremely important, and it is, to the broader economy, and I happen to be involved in both. So Cure, since we opened it in 2011, we've opened 3 more units. We have our second one in 2017 opened in Smithfield, which is, again, is my hometown and my business partners as well. And then in 2022, we opened both the Portsmouth, Old Town Portsmouth location and the City Center Newport News location. Now you might ask, hey, isn't that after the pandemic? How was your pandemic experience? It was rough, man.
Right, of course. It's rough for everybody. Yeah. But you survived.
We did, and we tried to make as best a decision in any given moment. There were a lot of moments, a lot of decision points, but we did the best we could and made the best decisions giving the information that we had. My finance and economics background and being a lifelong learner in the subject, I knew that the Congress, federal government, would have to do something very swiftly and very, dare I say, bigly. And thank goodness they did. So, right. Be it not for the PPP and the ERC and all the alphabet soup that they, basically it was a helicopter drop of money on the right. economy. Unfortunately, that led to, of course, a lot of fraud, of which I was not one of the fraudsters. I knew that money was, the intent of it was earmarked for, rescuing the businesses that were feeling severe consequences of social distancing and masking and all of that. Restaurants, right. We wore a brunt of that. Yeah. And that was some incredibly hard times, emotionally, stress, everything. But, then they did the helicopter drop and we applied for it, got it. And rather than, buy a boat or, a giant house or anything, a new pool or anything, right. Our intent with that money was going to be to open up another location, which we were on that path before the pandemic hit. Sure. Our existing 2 restaurants, again, Norfolk and Smithfield, both very petite spaces. Customers love us. We were growing, business volume was growing, but our footprint was not, and we were stressing the kitchen, the staff, the equipment, the facility. So we needed a third one in which we would build out a commissary kitchen, which is, a kitchen that receives bulk goods and breaks them down, preps them, slices, repackages, ships them out to our other, now other 3 stores, again, 4 total. So we were on that journey before the pandemic hit to find that third space. And then the pandemic hit and, we threw those plans right out the window. Right. For about 1.5 years. And when the dust was seemingly settling and there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and we started looking again because we survived the pandemic, but we still have this need that we had before the pandemic hit. So right. we found that third space, and that is in beautiful Old Town Portsmouth, Virginia.
It's a cool spot. That's where I met you that day.
It is. Thank you. Thank you. I put my heart and soul, probably 1,000 of my own hours building that space out.
Is it okay for me to say it's my favorite one?
That's absolutely.
Yeah, man. They're all cool. I don't want to shade on all of them.
I'll be honest.
That's just my favorite one, man.
And I'm just a cheerleader for Portsmouth in general. I own a house there and the business location. I love all the locations. I poured my heart and soul into all of them. We do all of our own build outs, so right. Any of the infrastructure that you see, generally we were the ones that put the paint on the walls, put the walls up, put framing up, everything in between, all the equipment, everything, setting it up. We do lean on our staff where we can. Yeah. But that's kind of our role.
So were you coffee guys and just said, hey, I love coffee, man, let me get a coffee shop? I would. Or a coffee snob? I hate to say coffee
snob. Not at all. I'm thinking of how to frame this succinctly because we only have that amount of time. So my business partner and I, graduated college, found ourselves both working for the man, and we knew that one day we would like to not work for the man, to work for ourselves. both of us pretty much grew up in a household of small business owners, and so we knew that one day most of these conversations happen to be, happening at the bar, at a restaurant, and so that's naturally where they gravitated to. Also, restaurants are about one of the easiest businesses to start, and also, unfortunately, the easiest to fail.
Right. Like 97% or something like that, I've heard.
Right. And so, yeah, one idle Saturday afternoon in April 2010, we smoked some pastrami, put together a homemade Reuben, and that was the literal light bulb moment. It just struck me like a ton of bricks. We looked at each other, and I believe we literally exclaimed that I think this is it, man. I think this is what we can do. This will sell like hotcakes.
Well, I had one of those Reubens, and it's good.
Thank you. I agree. So his mother was a real estate agent, and he had gotten this weird thing growing up. If there was a place for lease or sale, he'd just give it a glance for no other reason than just curiosity. And he found, right around that time, we had the Reuben idea. We found this sweet location on a beautiful cobblestone street that I used to ride my bike by when I was at ODU. And the intersection out front, which is a pretty main thoroughfare, Brambleton Avenue, 40,000 cars a day go by there.
Right.
Very historic neighborhood, wonderful architecture. Location was brilliant, but the intersection was torn up because they were building the Tide light rail at the time, and therefore rent was depressed and very attractive to two nuthead, recent college graduates working in the workforce for just a couple of years. We didn't have a lot of money. We're not from money. That's all right. You make your way in the world. Linked up with a wonderful girl at BB&T who helped us facilitate a SBA loan of $25,000, and we knew we could do most of the build-out work ourselves, lean on our father's expertise a little bit. Off to the races we were.
That's awesome. And here you are, 4 places later.
Yep, here we are, and with building going from 2 units to 4, the fourth and fourth were very quick succession. The real estate agent who helped us, Missy Martinovich, give her a shout out. She facilitated the transaction for the Portsmouth location, called us a month later and said, hey, there's this old coffee shop in Newport News, Aromas. They've closed down their location at City Center, and at the same time, the owners of the City Center complex were intent on selling the complex, and therefore raising the occupancy numbers was very important to them, and they were willing to give us some significant financial concessions so that they would have higher occupancy, even if there were a financial burden on the back end in terms of reimbursing us for the build-out expenses. So yeah, we thought, that's going to be a whole lot of work, but I think she's right that it is opportunity we should not pass up.
Right.
And so we didn't pass it up. We signed that lease too, and the next year of my life was Bob the Builder, basically.
And the coffee shop guy.
Yeah, and so we collaborate with our managers and our staff in general to set the place up so we build it out, and then we kind of give it to them and let them run with it and do what they're passionate about.
Okay.
I love our coffee, I love our product, I love our people, I love our spaces, but I'm not technical and passionate about the coffee.
Right.
My business partner much more so is. He can have a robust conversation about the menu and the whys and the ingredients and everything like that.
Right.
My role in the company at this point, has always been the accounting, financial aspect, in addition to construction and maintenance, mostly the carpentry type of work.
Gotcha.
Whereas my business partner is like more mechanical, plumbing, electrical sort of stuff, and maintenance of equipment, procurement of equipment, and menu design, all that. So we really found our niche over the years. It wasn't immediately like that, but we found our niche, and as to have our staff has found theirs in the company.
Cool.
And we're at a pretty stable place. We are considering where to locate our 5th store.
Okay.
So we're kind of honing in on Phoebus area of Hampton.
Okay.
I think that's got a lot of historical fabric. It is a I think that when the new tunnel opens there, finally, whenever that is, I don't know, 2027, that is going to be a boom. Boom to the economy on both sides of that tunnel, but more so the Hampton side.
Yeah.
So that's the story with Cure Coffeehouse.
It's good coffee. So if you're in the 757, check out Cure Coffee. Now, here's the deal. I'm not a coffee. I don't like the word snob. I'm not a coffee enthusiast to the level that many of my friends and my sons and all that stuff are. Because my son always has said, it all starts with the beans. And you guys got Counterculture, was it, your beans?
That's right,
so
Counterculture
he said,
coffee.
you can have the best material in the world, best grinders, best crappy beans, you make crappy coffee, man.
That's absolutely right.
And so they got great beans and they got great equipment, so and great people too, really nice people and great food. I mean, it was that sandwich that day was awesome. So definitely keep that in mind. But then you got, so when I met Chris, we met one day at his shop and chopped it up a little bit. First off, I got to get back. He's a geography major, right? College?
No, just a geography buff. I just love looking at maps.
Right. And then the whole entrepreneurship thing and degree, and I thought that was really cool. But then he started asking me some insurance stuff about another passion he's got, which I'd never thought of, man. Tell us about it. Where2Wheel, baby.
Where2Wheel. So back to my days at running the ODU Innovation Center and whole startup ecosystem development, I was introduced to this couple who had a crazy idea of putting forest fires out with a drone connected to a hose that conveyed water and.
Wow.
Well, they didn't have the resources or ingenuity, and we weren't. That was probably not a path that we were prepared to go down. But then in that conversation, they told me about this little website that they had called Where2Wheel.com.
Okay.
And meanwhile, I'd grown up in the country, and so I saw Bubba trucks going up and down all the time. I told you earlier, I've always been interested in any mode of transportation and, motorsports and all sorts of stuff. So when they told me about this website that was had like a Google Maps interface where and people could crowdsource off-roading trail information, so if you know of a great place to go wheeling, just put a pin on this map and some details of where it is and what you'll expect if you go there. I thought it was a wonderful idea, and then they mentioned that east of them, because they have all these members and all this inventory, if you will, of places to go off-roading, well, what you see east of the Mississippi, there's way more demand and way less supply.
Okay.
Kind of as a result of just the history of this country. This side of the pond or of Mississippi is where it started and where it expanded from. And so all of this land was bought up and developed, way early on in our history.
Right.
Even though as we look out over the landscape here, there is no shortage of places to do it.
Right.
So their idea initially was we would acquire a piece of land and build it out as an off-road park, much like Busch Gardens would acquire a spot or Walt Disney and build it out as a theme park. So we went on a journey of identifying suitable properties, and it was a journey over, I would say, 4 or 5 years where we eventually realized what we wanted to do. Let me back up just a little bit. Is basically the mission is to make off-roading more accessible to the masses, right? So to make them more accessible, you want them near urban environments because that's where the people are.
Right.
The problem is that's where the people are, but the places to go off-roading are like 4 hours west in the mountains. That's not very convenient. It can be a great adventure, but if you break down or whatever, then you've got problems.
And there's nothing to do. There might not be anything to do in the area or whatever.
So we wanted to be near or in urban environments. Well, we eventually found out that the highest and best use of any land very close to urban environments is not going to be low impact off-roading. It's going to be housing developments. While I find that sad, it is the reality. You've got to deal with the reality in any business that you're going after. So we started looking at more rural environments. It's really funny that you had Jake Maines on just a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And the business partner that changed things for this company, we met at Jake Maines' very first networking happy hour.
That's cool. That's cool. His anniversary's coming up first week of August.
I heard. He said, listen to that episode. And while I have actually not ever been to one of his, my the couple that had this idea to begin with, they had gone to that and met Wyatt Bell, wonderful guy. Cool. He has 42 acres out here in Suffolk. So I had told David and Brittain, the original founders, I said, all right, what we've learned is that we need to find somebody with some rural acreage that is near enough to population center, who is an avid off-roader, who has business acumen, and the balls to go along this ride with us. And we found that in Wyatt Bell.
Sweet.
So we used his 42 acres, set up a little prototype off-road park, if you will.
Now, is that the one we flew over?
No, but it was a stone's throw from that property.
Got it.
And because its proximity to Wyatt's is why we found that property anyway.
Right.
So we got some heavy machinery tires. These things are like 60 inches in diameter and 40 inches wide and very hard rubber. Wyatt also had a piece of heavy equipment. He had a backhoe.
Okay.
And so we dug big ass holes in the ground on just like, we'll call it less than an acre section of his property in the woods, and made this little obstacle course and started a YouTube channel to sort of broadcast the message that, hey, we have this place. Now we've got to get people to pay to bring their vehicles out here, and use these obstacles that we built. So that worked out. It was, very much baby steps, and in my whole education of entrepreneurship on the academic side, that is the thing that you want to do. You want to fail fast, and you want to expend as few resources to test as big of assumptions as you can, systematically, one after the other. The assumption either wins or fails, right? If you were right about it, okay, you add that to your inventory of successes, and you do that one after the other. Learn from your failures, and run with the successes.
Love it.
So I cannot say that we are entirely successful yet with Where2Wheel. We are in the process of raising minimum $500,000 of capital. If you know anybody who's interested in this concept,
all you rich people, four-wheelers out there,
bring the dollars. We really could use it.
What would you use it? I'm a Shark Tank. So what would you use the money for?
I'll get to that.
All right.
First, I want to say what our traction is. We have been doing these physical off-roading events. You can visit us, by the way, at w2wparks.com. That is where you can come out and off-roading. It is sister to Where2Wheel.com, which still exists as the crowdsourced off-roading trail information website. But frankly, we've kind of gotten beat out by OnX Off-Road.
Oh, yeah.
And some other All-Trails, other competitors. And that's fine, you navigate as the wind blows, like we're doing here up in the air.
Right.
So we have done well over 200 events in the last 3 years, and hosted well over 3,000 vehicles, and that probably represents 4,000 or 5,000 individual people.
That's awesome.
Because we charge by the vehicle, not by the passenger.
Are you wanting to say what that is, or willing to say what the charge is? So it depends on how much that costs.
So it depends on the entertainment value, really, of the property and its proximity to the population center.
If we've got more fun stuff to do, it might be more money to do that.
That's right. So on average, we're getting about $65 per vehicle. We do run events out at property in Moyock called, presently it's called Constellus. Once upon a time it was called Blackwater. It's a law enforcement and military training facility. And they have an off-road training course, so that was a big win for us. We're like, this billion-dollar company hit us up to see if they can commercialize the experience. Yeah,
it's gotta be a cool day.
So we've done probably 25 or 30 events there, and that is $150 per vehicle.
Yeah,
at this stage.
Sure. That's great.
And then we have just an easy 1 hour trail ride out here in Suffolk that we do probably 3 or 4 times a month at $40 per ticket.
Oh, wow. All right. That could be, now you commented on my 4Runner coming in, so people out there, if they've got, you don't have to have some jacked up, sippy hole, snorkeled truck, right? I mean,
bring what you've got. If it has 4-wheel drive, we have something in our portfolio of properties for you to enjoy that in. We have had everything from Subaru, Outback.
Yeah, there you go.
All the way up to Ram TRX and Bronco Raptors, F-150 Raptors. We have had some of the more unique vehicles, Hummers. We had a BMW X6 Quadro diesel, and the same day that guy's buddy had a F-150 Raptor Hennessy. model. So they were going head to head on the dirt track. That was lovely to see.
Have you ever had a Porsche Cayenne out there? I've heard those are very capable.
Funny you asked that, dude. We had a Porsche club reach out to us a few months back, and they wanted their constituent members to enjoy one of our adventures. And so we had the organizer bring his Porsche Cayenne out and investigate if this was a good idea or not.
Right.
And he ultimately decided that this would terrify our members. and
pavement princesses, man.
But we don't want people to come out there and destroy their stuff unless that's what they're there to do, and a lot of them are. But most of them are just, they see the Bronco commercial, the Jeep commercial, they buy the thing. They paid $70,000 for it. They don't want to immediately ruin it. We'll tell you how not to. We'll tell you how you can, if you're not being careful, not know what you're doing.
Sure.
And that's the benefit. One of the benefits, of course, of coming out to our events is we have safety personnel on site.
You get coached a little bit too if you want to be coached.
Yes, sir.
Will you ride with me? Would you do that type of thing, or no?
We have, and we can, and that's actually an additional SKU we're looking at launching as ride-alongs.
Yeah,
but all of this is predicated on risk tolerance.
Sure.
And we're trying to sort that out. That's actually why you and I got to talking a few weeks back.
And we're still working on that.
We're really looking for an insurance policy that provides protections, especially to our landowner partners.
Yeah.
Much like Airbnb does.
Yeah. I think we got the concept figured out. It's just a matter of finding the right carrier to sell it.
Yeah.
So.
And at the same time, we just engaged with a lobbying group out of Richmond, Virginia, to make potentially make some adjustments to the agritourism statutory language.
Okay.
Which provides inherent liability protection for death or injury to agritourism participants. And we firmly believe that our off-roading activity is absolutely should absolutely be considered an agritourism.
Yeah, why would it not? You're on agricultural land doing something that's fun.
Doing something that farmers have to do a day in, a day out, which is operate a four-wheel drive vehicle on their muddy tracks.
Right. Well, all right, so then what's next? So you talked about what the investment stuff. I mean, you're looking at...
Yeah, so we would like to scale this company out nationwide, if not globally, but nationwide. We do have a few landowner partners in Michigan, one in Washington State. We're working on a few in New York State, New Jersey. We've got quite a few on deck, but they're holding out for the liability situation to be a little more promising.
Sure.
So that is truly our biggest hurdle right now is solving the liability issue, which, mind you, again, we've had 3,000 vehicles, 200 some events, and have not had a single incident in which we were likely to be sued.
Right.
But if we can get over that hurdle, yeah, we're going to be the Airbnb of off-roading.
That's cool, man.
So we provide real tangible economic opportunity to the farmers, to the rural communities through this business model. Right, our payout right now is 50% of ticket sales. The property we flew over earlier, he made $10,000 doing maybe 2 or 3 events a month over the course of like 8 to 10 months.
It pays more than the taxes,
that pays the mortgage, man.
Yeah, man, that'll pay the mortgage.
Literally paid his mortgage.
Dang.
And so, yeah, there's real tangible economics to the. It's really a win-win-win situation if we can figure it out. And so the grand vision would be have thousands of properties across the country hosting thousands of events weekly.
Yeah.
And we've just launched a membership model where you can go, call it after hours, where we would not have personnel on site, but if you're a seasoned, experienced off-roader, you can enjoy those properties on your own leisure.
Sure.
So we just launched that SKU, and we think that'll open up a lot more opportunity for folks to come out and spend money with us.
That's great,
and enjoy what we have to offer.
So remind everybody again how, if you got that billionaire that's watching because my audience is just so big, Chris. It's just,
Well, the first thing I would ask the billionaire is to seed a insurance captive for us, so we don't have to bother with underwriters. The thing is, this model does not fit into a nice, tidy bucket that the underwriters, insurance people are used to.
Right.
And so they're either going to overcharge us or just not deal with us at all. And it's also that we're such small potatoes at this moment in time that they don't see the value in having a really robust conversation about the actual risk profile with us, because there's not enough money in it for them immediately.
Yeah.
But when we scale up to $100 million in revenue, you better believe that they're going to be
calling you up, baby.
But if we could just circumvent that, and I'm sorry to say, because you're insurance,
we won't do it.
Insurance industry. If we could have our own captive, I imagine that's what Airbnb has.
Self-insured.
Its own, self-insurance, because we understand that there is an absence of risk.
Right. Right.
But there's always the case that, you can get sued for anything, for any reason, even if you have statutory protection.
You still get sued.
You got to pay to defend it. And
Right.
that's tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So how do they get a hold of you? What's the best way to reach you, man?
All right. We are curecoffeehouse.com. We have 4 locations, as I said: Norfolk, Portsmouth, Smithfield, and Newport News. Each one has their own ambiance, own flavor. Menus are primarily the same, but you got to collect all 4 to really know what Cure is about.
Sure.
And then Where2Wheel.com, W2Wparks.com if you want to go off-roading with our fine Where2Wheel ambassadors.
That's fine. And if they do want to reach you, they could you got your contact info on all those websites.
You'll be able to find me.
Very good.
I'm hesitant
you
to
can
put
reach out to me. I'll put you out there.
Yeah,
so.
I'm hesitant to put my personal affairs out in the broader public, because you
your
never know
personal
who's going to be watching. But it is,
as we've found in the last couple of days.
If you have a good reason to get a hold of me, I'd love to have a sit down. I have it all the time.
Absolutely.
I don't mind talking to any. I love talking about business, if you can't tell.
Yeah, no, I love it. Well, hey man, did you know that today is National Junk Food Day?
I did not.
So if you could eat one junk food and never gain a pound, what would be the one thing you would pick?
Oh boy.
I got mine. Mine's easy.
Junk food and never gain a pound. There's so much to choose from. I mean, probably fast food burgers.
That'd be burgers, huh? What, do you have a brand? You partial?
Yeah, it ebbs and flows. Once upon a time, I was big into Burger King.
Right.
Now, McDonald's, Sue's. I love going to rallies once in a while. Their fries are to die for.
Yeah. I'm more of a Five Guys guy. I like Five Guys.
Oh, Five Guys is terrific, but man,
you gotta pay $38 or something for it. It's ridiculous.
That's the thing. Last time I went there, it was probably during the pandemic, and I got the check and said, "Oh, I'm not doing this for a while."
You got to bring a C note for a family of 4 to get burgers and fries, man.
Yeah, I mean, but you can on just one burger and one fries, you get a whole freaking Kraft bag of fries.
Yeah.
You got to have a family to even eat it all.
Yeah. Well, mine would be Hot and Now's.
Hot and Now.
Krispy Kreme, man.
Oh boy.
I could eat those 24/7.
You stop in whenever you see that light on?
It's like I'm like a bug to a light, man. I do. It's pretty bad. And I'll eat them before I get home. So sorry, baby, if you're watching this. But
I wish you had prepped me for that question, because I would have come up with something a lot more.
Well, there's still time, man. There's still time. All right, first concert, best concert.
Oh, first concert was Silverchair at the Boathouse.
Okay.
Long live the Boathouse. Silverchair. That would have been somewhere in the '97, I guess.
Okay.
And, best concert? Oh goodness. So many. I really love Shinedown.
Okay.
They have an awesome show.
Okay.
Slipknot, I remember, I've only seen them once or twice. That show is just obnoxiously awesome.
Okay.
Banging on trash cans and
Yeah.
explosives. I want to see Metallica. I've never been able to see them. Incubus was terrific.
Oh, I bet.
Three Doors Down. I don't know. The list goes on. Can you tell I'm a rocker?
Yeah, I like it, dude. Yeah, that's why I asked that question. Because I would vibe with all those bands. I'm in on all those bands. So, because I love music, that's something I'm really passionate about. So, you play any instruments?
I do. I play guitar. I learned guitar in 6th grade. I haven't picked it up in a few years. Life gets busy. I figure one day, though, I'll pick it back up and be that old guy that you see playing in the breweries.
You'll have your shot, man.
Yeah.
Or your coffee house on unplugged nights.
God willing.
So I hope that works out. Well, dude, it's been fun having you up here today.
I'm having a blast. I hope we're not done yet.
No, we can wait whatever you want to talk about, man.
All right, go.
You do it for it, man. The mic's yours. If you got any topics, I always leave it to the end. Anything else y'all want to talk about? Cure, Where2Wheel, your family, education, I don't care.
I was just talking about staying up in the air and looking out of the window.
No, we're not done. We'll turn this off, but we're not done.
Yeah, I was telling him earlier when we started the flight that I find it very difficult to sleep on a plane because my eyes are glued out the window.
Yeah.
If there's no clouds in the sky, I am trying to identify different features in the landscape, different parks or, what city this is, what city that is by dead reckoning.
Sure.
Once in a while I'll cheat and I'll look at the onboard Navitronics or whatever behind the seat back. But yeah, I love geography. I love looking at maps. That's another thing that thrills me with my role in Where2Wheel is I'm kind of the house geographer, the house GIS guy. So when we get a landowner lead, I'll dive in. I'll first look at Google Maps, see if it's got any suitable terrain, topography, what's, how densely wooded is it, how much work would it be to add trails, etc. Then I'll dive in on the county or city's GIS, and I'll make sure it's zoned agriculture or, something that's suitable for the use for our use. And all of the above, all the ins and outs, and then I'll kind of give my business partners a concise report of what the likelihood of that property to be good for our portfolio is. Cool. And I just love it.
Well, I wish you best, man. I hope you get your $500,000, and I hope you have 1,000 properties in the next 12 months, dude.
$1.5 million would give us a lot more runway, but
3 would do even more than that.
Yeah, it's all numbers, And as you look out over any landscape, you're like, man, there is a lot of wealthy folks out there.
Yeah, there is. Somebody owns all this, dude.
We just need to get one of them.
Well, I'll pray you get it, man. I hope you get it, man.
Thank you very much.
So, you haven't probably watched these. Do you know how we sign these things off at the end? Have you ever watched one at the end? It's okay, nobody does.
I did not watch till the end.
So good, nobody does, which I love this. So what I do at the end, maybe I should just not stop. Maybe I should go click. But what I do at the end, we'll go like 1, 2, 3, and I'll go, see ya.
All right.
All right. So we're going to do that. All right, everybody. So appreciate you chiming in today and listen to Chris, and hopefully you've gotten this far and actually see us do this now that everybody and their brothers do it. Nobody knows what we're doing. But anyway, appreciate you doing that. Do the like, subscribe stuff. Check out his stuff, your YouTube channel. How do they find your YouTube channel?
Oh, yeah, dude, we got great YouTube content. It is Where2Wheel, right here, Where2Wheel on YouTube. We're also on Instagram, Facebook. Check us out.
Yeah, man, well, check us out. Well, again, appreciate you tuning in, and just like I said, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, see you. Ready? All right, 1, 2, 3. See ya!